70 returned again with joy, saying, Lord, even the devils are subject unto us through thy name. And he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. Notwithstanding in this rejoice not, that the spirits are subject unto you, but rather rejoice, because your names are written in heaven.
You know, we're risking our lives out there doing this work. As it is written, we are killed all the day long. You know, we're going to receive power. We're going to receive for being faithful and being humble and accepting humility and humiliation. We're going to receive power, man. And every now and then we must meditate on that. You know, those of us that are truly sincere in this ministry. You know, and the brother Ramar gave me the example of Yahweh Shai, the great things that he did. That was not a myth. You know, it was not crafted to be a nice bedtime story. It really happened. You know, Yahweh Shai really turned water into wine. He really walked on water. You know, he really demonstrated every now and again the power that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, gave him, his Father gave him. And he said, we shall do greater. And we truly believe in Yahweh Shai. So if we truly believe in Yahweh Shai, we're going to do the things that he did. Absolutely, man. You know, I wholeheartedly believe that, you know.
Thomas said unto him, Lord, we know not whither thou goest, and how can we know the way? Yahweh Shai said unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father, but by me. If ye had known me, ye should have known my Father also. And from henceforth ye know him, and have seen him. Philip said unto him, Lord, show us the Father, and it sufficeth us. Yahweh saith unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father. And how sayest thou then, Show us the Father? Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, he doeth the works. Believe me that I am in the Father, and the Father in me, or else believe me for the very works' sake. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me, the works that I do shall he do also, and greater works than these shall he do, because I go unto my Father. And whatsoever he shall ask in my name, that will I do, that the Father may be glorified in the Son. If ye shall ask anything in my name, I will do it. If ye love me, keep my commandments.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kapadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations. Hopefully, they got there pushing his word in truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to hopefully the believers, the listeners who may have came back to the obedience to the scriptures through faith in Yahweh by Shema Shai. All right, what we're going to get into the morning, and what we're going to get into this morning, is dealing with how, the different paths, same destinations. Okay, same destination. All right, because each brother, each believer, even you sisters as well. Okay, we all have our different paths into the kingdom. Okay, now we following the same power, Yahweh Bashemal Shah. We're following the same standard, okay? But we all are within different circumstances, and there's different requirements that's required of different brothers, all right, even different sisters, man. And the scriptures go into these things, all right? So let's just go straight into it. Start getting these accounts. Okay. Now, this is John 21:15, as we're going to go, the apostles, as we're going to go into how the apostles came from different backgrounds, okay? And there were different things required, from different, disciples, different apostles, different believers, even Judas, okay? Hey, he was there, but eventually he was pulled off the path, man. And that's a thing of fear, as we see men being pulled off the path, man. Okay? So let's go here to Yahushua, because Yahushua deals with brothers differently, man. Okay? Just like a husband, he would deal with, women differently. Even though a man had multiple wives, he would deal with each one differently, man. Okay? But it will be the same outcome, You have the same expectation, okay, according, all right, to his relationship with him, man. And this is how Yahushua deals with his men. He deals with his men, differently, man. Now this is John 21:15 says, so when they had dined, Yahushua said unto Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He said unto him, yeah, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, feed my lambs. He said to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He said unto him, yeah, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He said unto him, feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he had said unto him a third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest that I love thee. Yahushua said unto him, feed my sheep. Okay, so he's driving the point home to Peter to do what? Feed the sheep. And he's dealing with Peter because Peter will be the head of the church. So it was a certain way that he dealt with Peter than he dealt, with the other disciples. Okay? Verse 18 said, verily, verily, I say unto thee, when thou was young, thou girdest thyself and walkest whither thou wouldest, but when thou shalt be old, thou shalt stretch forth thy hands, and another shall gird thee and carry thee whither thou wouldest not. All right, showing that he will be crucified as well. This spake he, signifying by what death he should glorify the Most High. And when he had spoken this, he said unto him, follow me. Then Peter, turning about, seeing the disciple whom Yahushua loved, following, which also leaned on his breast at supper, and said, Lord, which is he that betrayed thee? Peter, seeing him, said to Yahushua, Lord, and what shall this man do? So he's talking about John, so at the Passover, John and Yahushua, they had, all right, you can tell that, he favored Yahushua, favored, John, even though Peter was the head, he had a lot of favor, toward John. Okay. And Peter, remembering this, he's asking about, okay, so what about this guy? And you know how we can be. You know how Jake is, man. He's Peter kind of in his feelings, and he asking about John. Okay. Yahushua said unto him, if I will that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. So Yahushua tells him, what's your business if he should tarry till I come? Okay. Follow thou me. You just do what I need you to do. Okay. Don't worry about okay his situation, his walk. Okay. Don't worry about what I need him to do, long as he's on point. Okay. Follow down me. And that's how it is in this ministry, man. Like each brother, collective we're a body, and we are resources to each other, to aid in salvation. Okay. But every man has their own thing that they have to overcome. Every man has their own obstacles that they have to overcome. Every man is in different circumstances. Every man has different requirements. Yahushua respects different requirements from different men. Okay? Like the going back to the parable with the talents. Yahushua gave different men, different talents, some more than other, but he just expected some return. Now he expected more return from the men that he gave more talents with, but the man that he gave the less talents, he still expected a return. He didn't expect as much as the man that he gave 10 talents, but he expected a return when he got back. So different brothers, have different responsibilities, man, and different expectations, of the Father. All right, through Yahushua. Okay, let's go here. Let's get this in. I think there's Luke. This is Luke. Hold on, might be 22. All right, this is on Luke. What you mean they ain't in there? All right, so you go here to the book of Luke 22 and 31 says, "And thou, Lord," it said, it's like, "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon," which is Peter again, "behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat." Okay, Yahushua is privy to this, because this is Yahushua, after um uh, like, yeah. So going back to Luke 22 and 31, it says, "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat." Okay, so he's speaking directly to Peter, like Satan wants you, like Satan really wants you. You see, so he can sift you, so he can agitate you and overthrow you. Okay, because what? Peter was the head. Okay, but what did Yahushua say? "But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren." Yeah, so he prayed for Peter, a personal prayer for Peter, that his faith fail not, so he will be able to what? Strengthen his brethren. The Apostle Peter had different responsibility. Okay, he had his own destination. Okay, and then the disciples, they come from different backgrounds. Peter, they was fishers. Peter and his brother, they was fishermen. Okay, Matthew was a tax collector. Okay, Apostle Paul. Okay, because dealing with, let's see if we can get there real quick, with Peter and the others, they didn't go to the school. Okay, they didn't go to the schools or the scrolls. Okay, or the scribes and Pharisees, which they had different schools back then. Where young men was raised up, learning the law, learning, the precepts and the scriptures, and you see, going into the law. Okay, and the Apostle Peter, and the ones that was following Yahushua, they didn't come up under it. It was pretty much working class men. Okay, some had more than others, but they was working class men. This is Acts 4:13 said, "Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and perceived that they were unlearned and ignorant men, they marveled, and they took knowledge of them that they had been with Yahushua." Okay, these were unlearned men. They didn't have the letters. Okay, they didn't have the certifications, of being trained, in the scrolls. Okay, but they was brought up with Yahweh Shai. Okay, and Yahweh Shai gave them the understanding. Okay, and that's why Jake marveled, the way that the apostles was able to navigate through the scriptures, you know, being unlearned men, because everyone didn't even have, the scrolls. Okay, they didn't have access to the scrolls. It wasn't in everyone's house as we have today in the form of the Bible. You know, only particular, all right, classes of men had those scrolls, man. You know, that's why they marveled at Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai came from working class, as a carpenter. So for him to come into the synagogue and go straight to Isaiah, and read, okay, and for him to be able to quote scripture as he was quoting, because why? He was the word. They will they will try to trip him up, and he will come out with a precept, man. He will quote a precept, okay. He was considered unlearned, but Yahweh Shai was the word. So the apostles, they was with the word, so they was getting brought up from the source. They was getting taught by the source, man. Okay, but then you have the apostle Paul, because you're gonna have brothers come from different walks of life. Okay, but the same spirit of Yahweh Shai, all right, is still within them. This is this Acts 22:1 said, "Men, brethren, and fathers, hear ye my defense, which I make now unto you." This is Apostle Paul speaking. And when they heard that he spake in the Hebrew tongue to them, they kept the more silence. And he said, yeah, because he could speak, multiple language. We know Hebrew and Greek. He possibly could speak Latin as well. Speculate in the spirit, but we know he spoke Hebrew and Greek. The other apostles, they couldn't do that. Okay, now they did speak in other tongues when the Spirit, came upon them, as a gift. Okay, but Apostle Paul was brought up, speaking, multiple languages. This is Acts 22:3 says, "I am verily a man which am a Jew, born in Tarsus, a city in Cilicia, all right, Cilicia, yet brought up at this city at the feet of Gamaliel." Okay, so the Apostle Paul was born outside of Galilee. Okay, he was brought up in a different city. Okay, and he was a Roman citizen. Okay, he had a different background, but guess what? He had the same destination as the other apostles, man. As you have brothers, even sisters that's gonna have different backgrounds, different upbringings, man. Okay, it's the same destination. It says you brought up. It said yet brought up at the feet, brought up in the city at the feet of Gamaliel, and taught according to the perfect manner of the laws of the Father, and was zealous toward the Most High, and ye as ye all are this day. Okay, so he was brought up in the law. That's why Apostle Paul was able, to have so much content. All right, because the Spirit was on him, and then the Lord had it to where he was brought up in the law. That's why he was able to break down the book of Hebrews in the fashion that he broke it down, because he was an expert in the law, but then he understood Yahweh. So he was able to break down, okay, the sacrifice. He was able to break down the priesthood, okay, according to Yahweh. Hey, you see? Yeah, that's what was required of him. The Lord needed someone to do that. Okay? To go into the priesthood at the order of Melchizedek, to break that down. Okay? You see? Apostle Paul was built for that, man. That's why you have different brothers, built, for different offices, man. Okay? You go here to the book of Matthew, where it's all the same destination, man. And Yahushua has that same brotherly love for all his men. Hey, you see, this is Matthew 17:1. It says, and after 6 days, Yahushua taketh Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringing them up into a high mountain apart. Okay, so you see that he takes 3 of the 12 with him. You know, the different men was privy to different things, man. All right, just like High Priest Ariel, like the spirit was on him to do that chart. That was his expectation. He was built to do that. The apostles, man. You see, Ella Abba Bivens, he had his lot, man. He had a different expectation. There was a different expectation upon him, man, to usher in the spirit of Yahushua, to kickstart the ministry of Yahushua, man. And different these great men that came before us, man. Okay, and we're entering into their labors, and we all going to the same destination. They came up in a whole different era than what we came in. Okay, it says, and after 6 days, Yahushua taking Peter, James, and John, his brother, and bringing them up into a high mountain apart. Okay, and was transfigured before them, and his face did shine as the sun, and his raiment was as white as light. And behold, there appeared unto them Moses and Elijah talking with him. Then answered Peter and said, unto Yahushua, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt let us make go back to it. All right, and said, then answered Peter and said unto Yahushua, Lord, it is good for us to be here. If thou wilt, let us make here 3 tabernacles, one for thee, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he yet spake, behold, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and beheld a voice out of the cloud, which said, this is my beloved son, who I am well pleased, hear ye him. And see, these 3 men got that experience. Okay, these 3 men got that experience, man. Everybody didn't get it. That's why, every brother's got different experiences, before the truth and even in the truth, man. Each men, the Lord sets them up to have different experiences, all right, that aids them, okay, in their path, man. The Apostle Peter, all right, he had the situation with the cock crew 3 times. He denied Yahushua. Everybody didn't have the experience, man. Even when you go to the book of Luke, brothers get different experiences, man, to be built a certain way, all right, for their purpose, man. Okay. Now, this is all right. Yep. All right. This is Luke 7:36. It says, and one of the Pharisees desire him that he would eat with him. All right. This is Yahushua. And he went into the Pharisee's house and sat down to meat. And behold, a woman in the city, which was a sinner, when she knew that Yahushua sat at meat in the Pharisee's house, brought an alabaster box of ointment. Okay, and this is Mary, the one that used to be the harlot. It says, and stood at his feet behind him, weeping, and began to wash his feet with tears, and did wipe them with the hairs of her head, and kissed his feet, and anointed them, okay, with the anointment. Now, when the Pharisees which had bidden him saw it, he spake within himself, saying, this man, if he were a prophet, would have known who and what manner of woman this is that touched him, for she is a sinner. Okay, so they was just being, a over analytical, over righteous, no mercy. Okay? So Yahushua gives him a parable. And Yahushua answered and said unto him, Simon, I have somewhat to say unto thee. And he said, Master, say on. There was a certain creditor who had two debtors. The one owed 500 pence and the other 50. Okay? And when they had nothing to pay, he frankly forgave them both. Tell me, therefore, which of them will love him the most? Simon answered and said, I suppose that he to whom he forgave his most. And he said unto him, Thou hast rightly judged. Okay? And he turned to the woman and said unto Simon, Seest thou this woman? I have entered into thine house. Thou gavest me no water for my feet, but she had washed my feet with tears and wiped them with the hairs, okay, of her head. Thou gavest me no kiss, but this woman since the time I came in have not ceased to kiss my feet. My head with oil thou didst anoint, but this woman have anointed my feet, all right, with ointment, and that was a custom that, you would do that, for your guests, wash their feet. Okay. It says, Wherefore I say unto thee, her sins which are many are forgiven, for she loved much. But to whom little is forgiven, the same loveth little. Okay? So she was forgiven for much. So she had more commitment. She loved much. Just how you have, different believers that are forgiven, different lives that we had before we came into the ministry, man. We understand, like, dang, I was off. Oh, I could have died multiple times. I could have been in a way worse situation than I am. Even Apostle Peter, when he forsook Yahushua 3 times, man, that made him hard body, man. That's why the Apostle Peter, they would get put in prison, beat, then get released, get freed, by the angel, then go right back to teaching. That was hard body, but it felt like he had a second chance. He had redemption, man. So you have that, different brothers, even like I say, even different sisters, man. They're gonna have, different lifestyles, and it's gonna be a, it's gonna be a different desire, which the Lord said all that, though. We had nothing to do with that. We can't control, our paths, man. Man's going to the Lord, but the Lord have us live these certain lifestyles, man, and then be redeemed, okay? And they create a particular desire within us, man. It just everybody on a different path, different circumstances. It's the same path. It means the same destination, different paths, man. Because we all on the straight gate, man. But there's different obstacles. Like I say, there's different expectations. Some brothers, got more burden, But each brother got their own customized hill, man. And whatever situation a brother in, another brother ain't built to deal with that, man. No matter how light or how heavy it seems, another brother ain't built to deal with that, man. Okay? So these brothers in the exact place that the Lord wants them to be in, all right, for salvation, man. Okay? And he's building us for a purpose, man, because every brother in the kingdom is going to have, even different purposes in the kingdom. Okay? We're all going to be an extension of the righteous throne of Yahushua, but there's going to be different offices, man. So the Lord is building us, a particular way, So let's get these two. Let's get on. Because guess what? Doubting Thomas, he's going to be in the same destination as the Apostle Peter, as the Apostle Paul. There's no writings, in the new epistle from Thomas, but guess what? He had his lot. He had his responsibility, man. he's gonna be amongst, all right, the ranking class of Israel, the elite of Israel, man. You're going to the same destination, you know. I think that's in Philippians. Yeah. This is Philippians 2:12. Said, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my presence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." You know, each brother has their own thing to overcome. You see, each brother has their own fight. Each brother, is like we all in our personal circumstances. All right, so the Lord can build us in a particular way. And the only way to get built is we constantly endure, we constantly overcome, we constantly rise up to the occasion, man. You know, that's how we start becoming something. You see, by constantly enduring and overcoming. Okay. So the Lord said, you know, each believer in a different scenario for them to overcome. We got different tests, different trials, different sacrifice, man. You know, but it's all leading to the same thing. Let's see. Yep, Con. Just like the brother said, Yahushua's grooming. This the brother Tazamah. Tazamah, Shalom, brother. Yahbashima Shabrakatah. Baruch Tawab. This is GMS through the fire too. Yahushua's grooming every Israelite man uniquely, and I walk with him. Yeah, like I said, there's even different requirements, from different sisters, man. Different sisters might have more of a requirement than others, man. Okay, but it's all going to the same, destination, man. The Lord requires more from some, less from others. Okay, this unique purpose for this brother, this unique purpose for that brother. Okay, well, we got to step into it, whatever it is. Okay, so let's get this here. We can end it and make it super long. This is 2 Corinthians 13:5 says, "Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahushua HaMashiach is in you, except you be reprobates," man. Okay? So we have to constantly examine. And when you go into that word examine, because we have to examine ourselves within our own situations. Okay? That word examine in the Greek.
Strong's G 3985, Pyrazzo.
All right. And it says to try to make a trial or to test for the purpose of asserting his quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. Okay? So we have to constantly examine how we're reacting and how we're behaving to the circumstances we're being put in, man. We got to make a true assessment of how we're performing in our customized hell, man. And we can't compare. We can be, inspired by other brothers. Okay, and we can watch. We can even watch how certain brothers move and, add that to our situation, man. Apply that to our situation, man. Okay, but each brother has their own personal thing that it's gonna take a unique, just as brothers in their unique situations, their customized hell, it's gonna take, all right, unique, wisdom to get out of there, man. Each brother has to apply a certain type of wisdom to their situation. It says to try to test one's faith, virtue, character by enticement to sin. Each brother has different weaknesses different things that entice them. You know, brother, hey, it's just different, man. What something that we've overcome years ago and are strong in, brother. Still be struggling with something that brother have overcome. Years ago we'll be struggling with, man. Okay, the thorn in the flesh. All right, this brother might have a different thorn in the flesh, man. You see, but it got to get conquered. Either way, it all got to get conquered, man. No matter what it is, man. Okay, and the Lord, has us in these different circumstances, but the Lord wants us all to overcome. All right. Nevertheless, so there was a point. Just wanted to bring that out. Lord will, you brothers. All right, and you sisters was edified once again, and give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders, GMS, who rule well, teach well, being great example towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation, and hopefully, Shalom.